Oh, we sure saw it today. The Packers secondary is a real weak spot. We saw it last week against the Bears, too. Yeah, gone are the days when Nick Collins and Charles Woodson gave opposing offenses nightmares. Woodson, of course, was in part a salary cap casualty. Nick Collins' career in green and gold ended much differently, much more abruptly, in North Carolina with a neck injury. 2 years later, could he come back?
They did a draw play, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna run up and get the guy down. Big running back, go low. Then all of a sudden I see him getting ready to jump, and I'm like, okay, what did I do? But the back of his thigh just grazed the top of my helmet, and my head, neck just did that. And I'm like, I hit the ground, and I tried to get up, and I was like, oh. I'm numb, like whole body just numb. I'm laying there like, this can't be real. This can't be real.
The game was on. My mom and I were cooking, and I heard the commentator say, and Nick Collins is on the ground and that he was not moving. So I turned around, I looked at the TV. In my mind, I was just like, oh, you know, he just fell or somebody just knocked him over and he'll pop up in a second. And they went to commercial break, came back, he still hadn't gotten up. I had to keep in mind that the kids were playing in the house and I didn't want to freak out. But Nicholas turned to me and Nicholas said, Mom, why isn't my dad getting up off the field? And when he said that, I just started boohoo crying. And my mom immediately took the kids outside to play so that I can try to get in contact with someone from the Packers organization to figure out what was going on with Nick. I'm sorry. I thought he was paralyzed.
On a football Sunday, Nick Collins' house in Florida is filled with family and friends. His mother-in-law has fixed a huge feast. There are prayers.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day.
Plates of food, some backyard ball.
Touchdown!
And of course, the NFL. A perfect fall day.
I have Peyton throwing 5 touchdowns today.
But for one problem, Nick Collins
I do miss it.
Is there.
Miss the game.
Nick Collins' NFL dream started in a small southern town where Spanish moss paints shadows on sleepy streets. From this quiet corner of northwestern Florida came a kid
He just had no quit in him.
the likes of which Dixie County High School had never seen.
He at night, and I think he scored all the touchdowns. We led us to the playoffs for the first time in about 20 years.
Drafted behind Aaron Rodgers in 2005, Nick Collins started getting noticed before his rookie regular season even started. 6 seasons, 3 Pro Bowls, 1 Super Bowl ring. Nick Collins was stamping out a spectacular career. But then it happened. September 18th, 2011.
They come out rushing out there. They was like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong? I was thinking about my wife, kids, my father, mother. It was just a moment that you realize, like, this game is real. Like, it can be taken away from me at any given second. And that day was that moment.
Or was it? Nick Collins had a herniated disc pressing into his spinal cord. A surgeon went in through his neck and put a plate between the bones, fusing them into one. Other NFL players have had the same procedure. Some have returned. Some who've returned have regretted it. The Packers would not be giving Nick Collins that chance. During his healing, he'd stayed close to the community.
Right now, I'm just thankful that I can walk around.
Visiting hospitals, standing on the sidelines, always hoping he'd be back next season. There was clearly about a 6-month period there where you thought you were coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Things were looking good. Things were looking promising.
Great.
The Packers had him fly up for off-season conditioning. But within a week,
it was like, Ted want to talk to you.
They broke the bad news.
He called me and he goes,
I got to go see Ted in the morning.
Ted Thompson.
I was like, nah, there's nothing good gonna come out of this.
And he called me back and he said, I'm about to book a flight to come back home. I just got released. And I was like, this is gonna crush him.
The concern was a spot on his spinal cord, likely a bruise left behind by the impact.
A few months after that, that they released me, I went back to see my doctor, and the spot was gone. So I was trying to tell the trainers, trying to tell the head coach, give me to a training camp. If you give me to a training camp, you'll see for yourself.
But the Packers had closed the door on Nick Collins. Nick Collins, however, has not closed the door on football. He's keeping connected with Wisconsin.
Looking for safety. I'm here. I'm your guy.
Working out.
I train.
Waiting for a call.
I would love to go back.
Hoping for a chance.
I know I still have it.
How do you get that chance?
Oh man, how do I get that chance? I don't know. I really don't know. I think I'll never get that chance.
It's like you're on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
That's gotta hurt sometimes though.
It hurts, but the toughest part about the whole situation, when the kids run up and like, Dad, we want to see you play football. We want to see you play football. And I'm like, I know.
I would imagine from the moment you had that meeting with Ted Thompson to this day today as we talk, you've gone through a range of emotions, a range of decisions. Where has that taken you?
It's not took me some places. It's been a time that I was depressed and didn't know I was depressed. I just wake up in the morning, don't say nothing to anyone in the house, go over there in the theater room and just sit there and watch TV.
And the first year without football,
I don't even think that I totally dealt with the emotion of him being released.
Was no easier on his wife, Andrea.
We're definitely better than where we were a year ago when he was released. They're still healing there, but like 2-3 months ago or so, I think it finally hit me when I started seeing some of the wives and stuff that I'm friends with on Facebook or still talk to, and they're posting pictures on Facebook and Instagram of, you know, them at minicamp and then at family night, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh.
Another fish tail.
Nick and his wife are now focused on their family. 3 little boys running the house.
4. Nick.
But when you listen to Nick Collins, you can hear his internal conflicts. How do you reconcile gratitude?
They gave me an opportunity to play out my childhood dream.
With regret.
I'm thankful for that, but at the same time, I feel like they really didn't give me a chance.
How do you forge ahead after football?
I'm not quite there.
Keeping one foot in the cleats.
I battle with it every day.
You have a quote on your Twitter account. I think it's Dr. Seuss. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Is it over?
To me, it's not over. To me, it's not over.
How do you balance self-confidence?
I can do it.
With uncertainty.
Stepping out there on the field and actually doing it might be totally different because I've been away from the game for 2 years, and I might step on the field, and I had to get the opportunity to step on the field, hit someone and be like, why did I even make this decision?
How do you walk away from a life you didn't have a chance to walk away from?
Nick and I sat and chatted for about an hour. A few things we talked about that weren't in the story. Who's the best quarterback he ever went up against? Minus Brett and Aaron, of course. Also, who's the toughest receiver he ever had to cover? Plus, what went through his mind when he saw Jermichael Finley go down with that neck injury? And he also explains a really interesting reason why he thinks more NFL players are going to be getting neck injuries. We have those clips for you lined up on fox6now.com.